Good day, guys. Welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to learn how to sew this simple gown. So if you want to learn how to make this gown, just stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe and watch till the end of the tutorial. Thank you, guys. So we'll be needing about 3.5 yards for this tutorial. Then I'm using half yard of this doll face to combine it. If you're using a doll face for the main fabric, you might need up to 3 yards. So the first thing that I'm going to cut is the down part. The length of the gown is 39 inches and her half length is 15 inches. So I'll place 15 and a half. So the full length is 39, but remember that it has gathers, so the gathers will start at 35. So I'll add 1 inch for joining at the top and at the down part, and I'll mark 36 inches. So I'm using 36 inches to cut out this part. So your hip measurement. So I will measure her hip. Her hip starts at 27 inches from the shoulder. So this is the hip and this is the knee measurement. So I'll use my ruler and connect and draw my lines. So I'm done. I'll go ahead and take her body measurements, her waist measurement, her hip measurement, and her knee measurement. So whatever you have, you add 2 inches for allowance. So her waist measurement plus 2 inches, and I'll mark. Her hip is 40. 40 divided by 4 is 10, plus 2 inches seam allowance, 12 inches, and I'll mark. So for this, whatever you have at your hip, you minus 2 inches from it. My former hip measurement was 10. But I'll make it 11 to add ease. The gown will not have any slits, so I added 1 inch for ease. So I'll mark that and I'll go ahead and connect with my ruler. So I've connected my lines. I'll go ahead and cut. So this is for the front. I'll use the front and cut out the back. So I folded my fabric. I'll go ahead and place the front on this fabric. I'll place the front panel on this folded fabric. So I'll go ahead and mark out 2 inches for zipper allowance. Zip will be at the back. So I'll go ahead and mark my 2 inches. After marking, I'll connect with my ruler. So I'll go ahead and cut round. I'll cut exactly what I have on the front. The only difference is the zipper allowance. I'll cut out my zipper allowance. So I'll fold and keep aside. The next is the upper part. I'll cut the front first before cutting the back. So I'll go ahead and fold my fabric. I'll take her shoulder measurement first. Her shoulder is 15 plus half inch seam allowance 16. I'll mark. From that point, I'll measure 1.5 inch or 2 inches on my shoulder slant. And I'll go ahead and connect with my ruler. So the next is to measure my armhole. So our armhole is 7 inches, 8 inches, sorry. From the shoulder, I'll measure 8 inches. I'll connect with my ruler. From there, I'll mark out my armhole curve. So the next is to measure your half length. Remember I said that her half length is 15 inches plus 3 inches. I normally add extra so that after turning with my lining, I'll cut out exactly what I need. So I marked 18. I'll go ahead and mark out my darts. I'll mark 4 inches. My underbust is 7 inches, so that's why I marked 4 inches. So from there, I'll measure 11 inches. This is where her dart line will stop. And I'll also take my bust measurement from here. So I'll measure 1 inch on each side. From this dart line that I marked, I'll measure 1 inch on the right and 1 inch on the left. You can measure half inch if you want. So I'll mark out my 1 inch. So I'll measure 4 inches on my bust point again. I'll connect the initial 4 inches that I marked to this one. So from that point, I'll connect my 1 inch on the right and on the left. All of them will meet at this 11 inches that I marked from the shoulder. So this is where I'll pick my dart from. So I'll take my bust measurement and add 2 inches for seam allowance. So our bust measurement is 39 plus 2 inches seam allowance, 11.5. I'll mark. Her waist measurement is 29 plus 2 inches seam allowance. Then you also add 2 inches for your darts if you are picking 1 inch for your darts. If you are picking half inch for your darts, you only add 1 inch for allowance. So I'll connect this line. So the next thing is to mark out my neck measurement. So I'll be using 3 by 3, 3 by 4, 3 inches up and 4 inches, but I'll not mark exactly on the 4. I'll mark 3.5, so that when I turn with my lining it will be 4 inches. So I'll curve my neckline and I'll cut round. I'll cut out everything that I have here. I'll notch my dart line. I'll cut out my neck measurements, my armhole curve, and I will notch my darts. So the next is to go ahead and cut the back panel. So the front panel and the back panel will be the same. The only thing that will differ is the neck measurements, the neck depth, and zipper allowance. So go ahead and add 2 inches for my zipper allowance, and I will connect with my ruler. So I'll go ahead and cut out everything that I have here. Also notch my dart line. Then for the neck, my neck depth will be 1.5 inch. I'll curve and I'll cut out what I have here. And I'll cut out my zipper allowance as well, and I'm done with the front and the back panel. So I'll go ahead and notch my darts. So the next is our sleeve. So for the sleeve, I'll fold. The sleeve is a puffy sleeve and it is gathered, so I'll fold SX for the gathers and for the puff. So the length of our sleeve is 22 inches. So 4 inches is for the band. The band will be 4 inches. So we'll remove the 4 inches from the 22. And if you minus 4 inches from 22, you'll be having 18 inches. But I will not cut exactly 18 inches. I will add like 3 inches. So I will add like 3 or 4 inches, so that when after sewing, the sleeve will look gathered when you draw it up. So the sleeve will pack. So I will mark 22 inches and I will draw my line. So I'll go ahead and curve from here. My sleeve curve will look pointy because my sleeve is a puff sleeve, and my armhole will be like 2 times bigger. The curve will be like 2 times bigger than your armhole so that you can do your gathers when sewing. So I'll cut out. You can see how the shape looks like. So with this one, I'll go ahead and cut for the second side. So I'll fold again and I'll place my fabric and I'll cut out exactly what I have on the right sleeve. So we are done with the sleeve. I've also cut out what I will use for the gathers. As you can see, the gathers is supposed to be 5 inches or 4 inches, but I added extra 1 inch. I added extra 2 inches for folding. So this, I'll go ahead and join the 3 of them. So I cut out like ×3 of my knee circumference. So I'll go ahead and join so that it will be very long. So the next is to cut out what we use to design the clothes. As you can see, the design we are making is at the center. So I'll fold. And the length of the gown is 39 minus 4 inches for the gathers, you have 35. So I'll measure like 35 inches, but for me I will add extra. I'll add like extra 2 inches. So I'll cut out, and the wideness of my design will be 4 inches. It will be 3 inches. So I made this 3.5 inches. So after sewing, it will be 3 inches. So I'll go ahead and cut for the gathers, the one that I'll place on the gathers. I'll go ahead and cut my band. My band is 4 inches, and the length is 4 inches, and the wideness is 4 inches. So I'll measure out 4 inches for the wideness, and I'll add 1 inch for seam allowance. And I'll also measure 4 inches and 1 inch for seam allowance for the length. So I've cut out one. I'll go ahead and fold again and cut for the other side. So this is what we have: the design for the center front, my band. So I'll go ahead and cut the lining for all the pieces that I've cut out, and I'll go ahead and sew. I will turn each pieces with the lining. So after sewing, I'll come back and show you guys how it looks like. So I'm done. I've turned each piece with its line. This is the front panel. You can see the back panel. I've turned it with the lining, and I've marked out. This is the front panel, and this is the front panel for the down parts. You can go ahead and join each of them. You can join the front and the back. So this is for the back panel, as you can see, and this is the upper part for the back panel. So there's some people that will join the two of them together and then place it on the front and join. But me, I join the upper part separately with the front one, the down part separately with the back one, and join. So this is what I will use for my design. This is for my gathers. I've joined it, so I will fold it into two and notch the center. So this is where I will place the design for the center front. So this is my design. This is where I will place it. I will use my pin and pin it down. So I'll go ahead and fold it. So this is my sleeve. I've attached the band. This is for the left and right sleeve. So I'll go ahead and shape. So I've finished joining my gown, and this is how it looks like. I finished joining the front and the back, so I'll go ahead and open it. I'll open it from the back. So I'll go ahead and place my design, the combination. I'll go ahead and place it at the center. I'll make sure that it is at the center, that it is equal on both sides. I'll fold it from the top and I'll go ahead and pin it down. So I'll make sure that I pinned it down to the down part, so that it will not be shifting while I'm sewing it down. So I'll pin at the center. So I'll go ahead and sew it. So I'll finish sewing it, and this is how it looks like. It looks neat. So I'll place this to the center. This is for the gathers, so I'll place the designs together so that they will complement each other. So I'll turn it and I'll go ahead and pin it down. So I'll sew. After sewing here, I'll go ahead and gather for the right and do my gathers for the right, and I'll do my gather for the left. I'll do it round. I'll come back and show you guys. So I'm done with my gathers, and this is how it looks like. You see, I'll go ahead and fix my zipper and fix my sleeves, and after that I'll come back and show you the finished look. So this is my final look for the gown. Thank you guys. Please don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell. Thank you. Bye.